Hello everyone, and welcome to How-FixIT. In this video, I'll show you how to completely disassemble the iPhone 17 Pro so you can replace any faulty components. You'll learn how to change the housing, screen, battery, logic board, cameras, speakers, Face ID, power and volume buttons, and charging port. This guide also covers the full reassembly process so you can successfully complete the repair. Before we get started, here's what you'll need for this repair. A precision screwdriver set, plastic pry tools, a pair of tweezers, a suction cup, and a screen disassembly tool, essential for safely separating the display from the frame. To remove the battery, you'll need a 9-volt battery with 2 wires and clamps, and to restore water resistance, you'll also need adhesive sealing tape. I've included links to all the tools and replacement parts in the video description below. For the best results, I highly recommend using a magnetic mat to organize screws and small components during disassembly. The iPhone 17 Pro contains dozens of screws of varying sizes, and a magnetic mat helps keep everything secure and properly organized for reassembly. Alright, let's get started. First, power off your iPhone and remove the 2 screws located next to the USB-C port. Next, heat the screen. Warming the lower edge softens the waterproof adhesive. Apply gentle, even heat for 60 to 90 seconds at about 90 degrees Celsius or 194 degrees Fahrenheit. Place a suction cup near the bottom edge of the screen, then insert a thin blade into the gap between the chassis and the display to loosen the adhesive. Once a small gap forms, switch to a plastic pry tool. Keep the surface warm as you work your way around the edges. A well-heated screen separates much more easily. The screen is tightly glued to the frame, so apply steady, even pressure as you go. Ensure the surface stays warm as you work around the edges. This helps make adhesive removal easier. At the top edge, 2 hinges connect the display to the housing. Once you reach them, push slightly downward to release. Lift the display like a book from the side. Remove the screws securing the bracket over the display and front sensor connectors, then carefully disconnect the cables. Next, remove the 14 screws securing the large metal plate that covers the battery and lift the plate off. The battery is attached to the back of this cooling plate and doesn't need to be removed unless you're replacing it. If you are replacing it, you'll need the 9-volt battery and clamps. Peel off the small tab at the bottom of the battery, connect the black wire to the negative terminal and the red wire to the positive terminal of the 9-volt battery. Attach the red clamp to the silver tab and the black clamp to the uncoated light area of the plate. Hold the connection for about 90 seconds to soften the adhesive. If the clamps come loose, simply repeat the process. Once the adhesive releases, lift the battery out gently. If your replacement battery includes pre-installed adhesive, remove the liner and place it onto the plate. If not, install new adhesive strips manually. I've included a link to the replacement battery adhesive below the video. Now, let's move back to the phone. Unscrew the bracket securing the Face ID cable and disconnect it from the logic board. Remove the entire Face ID module. Next, remove the 3 screws holding the camera module. Disconnect its flex cables from the logic board and lift the camera module out. Unscrew and remove the earpiece speaker. Disconnect all remaining cables attached to the logic board. Gently lift the board from the housing, then remove the screws securing the small rear bracket. Disconnect the wireless charging coil cable and set the logic board aside. Now remove the ribbon cable that includes the flash diode and rear microphone. Be mindful of the small antenna brackets. Keep them with their corresponding screws to ensure proper placement during reassembly. Before detaching the cable, lightly heat the surface to soften the adhesive. Then lift the module carefully. Replacing this cable assembly will fix issues with the flash or rear microphone. Remove the 2 screws securing the next bracket, then warm the surface again before taking out the LiDAR sensor module. remove the screws securing the antenna to the chassis. This antenna is glued to the chassis, so gently heat the area first to avoid damage when prying it up. Remove the screws securing the Taptic Engine, flip it over, disconnect the ribbon cable, and lift it out. Next, remove the screws holding the bottom loudspeaker, then lift it from the chassis. Unscrew the fasteners securing the USB-C port and lower microphone flex cable. Because the charging port flex is glued in, heat the surface slightly before removal. Once warm, peel it away carefully. If your iPhone has charging or connection issues, replacing this part will usually fix the problem. Links to replacement charging ports are in the description below. To remove the volume buttons, unscrew the screws holding the flex cable to the chassis, then gently detach and remove it. If your volume buttons aren't working, replacing this cable should restore them. Next, unscrew and remove the power button and control button flex cable. Both buttons share the same flex assembly. If either button fails, replacing this cable will fix the issue. However, note that the control button combines both a sensor and a mechanical component. The sensor is welded to the chassis, making it extremely difficult to replace without changing the entire housing. In addition, the touch-sensitive part of the control button is paired to your Apple ID. When replacing the housing assembly, calibration using Repair Assistant will be required. I'll cover this later during testing. The wireless charging coil is attached to the back glass cover. It can be replaced separately or together with the glass. The back glass itself can be removed the same way as the screen, by heating and gently prying around the edges. At this point, all modules and parts have been removed. The iPhone 17 Pro is now completely disassembled. If your phone's frame is bent or damaged, this is the perfect time to replace it or install new parts. All replacement links for the iPhone 17 Pro are in the video description below. Before beginning reassembly, take a short break. This helps maintain focus and precision during the final steps. During reassembly, make sure every screw goes back in the right place. Using the wrong screw can cause serious issues, like gaps or flexing in the frame, stripped threads, or even electrical shorts if it's too long. Always keep your screws organized and match them to their exact positions before tightening anything. Keep connectors clean and dust-free. Dust or debris can cause poor connections, unstable performance, or even short circuits. Use only an anti-static brush to clean connectors. It safely removes dust without generating static electricity that could damage chips. Double-check each cable connection. A loose or misaligned connector can cause unresponsive buttons, cameras, or sensors, or even overheating. Taking an extra moment to ensure each one is properly seated can save you from reopening the phone later. Common post-repair issues, such as malfunctioning parts, usually result from loose connections, dust in connectors, or incorrect screw placement. Careful attention during reassembly will help you avoid all of these. Place the cooling plate with the battery back into the phone and secure it with a few screws. Reconnect the display, power on the iPhone, and verify that it boots. After replacing any major components, use Repair Assistant to calibrate the device. Go to Settings, then select General, and then the About section. You will see a new section, Parts and Service History. Go to this section and follow the on-screen prompts to start calibration. Your iPhone must be connected to Wi-Fi and have at least 20% battery to complete the process. After calibration, the phone will restart automatically. Then verify that every module, Face ID, cameras, buttons, charging port, microphones, sensors, and speakers works correctly. Once testing is complete, let's restore water resistance. Remove the old adhesive tape from the iPhone's frame. Once the iPhone is opened, the adhesive tape loses its sealing properties and can no longer protect your device from water and dust. To restore water resistance, you'll need to apply new waterproof sealing tape around the frame. However, if you don't have the new adhesive tape on hand, it's best to leave the old tape in place until you're ready to replace it. Use a cotton swab dipped in isopropyl alcohol, 91% or higher, to clean any remaining residue from the frame. Place the cooling plate with the battery into the iPhone and secure it with 14 screws. Carefully align the new adhesive tape with the edges of the frame, ensuring proper placement. Press down along the perimeter using a plastic spudger to secure it firmly. Once the tape is applied, peel off the top liner to expose the adhesive. Reconnect the display and sensor connectors, replace the bracket, and tighten the screw. Press gently along the screen edges to ensure a snug seal, then reinstall the 2 screws near the charging port to finish assembly. If you found this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech tips and guides. Visit our website for more insights and do-it-yourself guides. Remember, every tech challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. Thanks for watching HowFixIT, and we'll see you in the next one.